welcome to this week's episode of the Popcorn Wine Down. I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy.
Thank you for joining us. This week we welcome a new audience. Tammy, we're expanding. We're now on Amazon and Audible. Yay!
Woo!
Look at us sounding all professional and stuff.
Moving on up.
Moving on up. And we'd also like to send a special thanks to this week's sponsor, Maddie's Madhouse of Magic, where they have something for everyone. If you're a beginner looking to get started with simple magic tricks, or someone looking to escape into your own world of fantastical adventures, then Maddie's Madhouse is the place for you. No matter what realm of reality you're comfortable with, check out Maddie's at madsmagicshop.com. And that's Mads, M-A-D-S, Magic, M-I-G-C-I-K, shop, SHOPPE.com. Tammy, you gonna be checking out Maddie's Magic Shop?
I don't know why you always set me up. Yes, I will. They pay the bills, don't they?
All right. Speaking of which, this week we take a journey through the multiverse with Doctor Strange and a few friends. After the events of Spider-Man initially and accidentally breaches the multiverse, he is now continuing to deal with seemingly minor breaches or incursions of creatures and beings from other multiverses. However, once America Chavez quite literally drops into his lap with an 8-legged cyclops on her trail, he realizes this is not a simple breach, and in order to save the multiverse, he must go up against his most powerful enemy yet. Tammy, what did you think of the madness? Was it worth entertaining or was it just maddening?
Did
I set you up again?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, did I set you up again?
Yeah, yes. I'm okay. I'm gonna give that one sentence and then I guess we'll get into details of it. I was bored.
Okay. Were you as bored as Eternals?
Almost there.
So it wasn't quite as bad as Eternals.
No, but the person who saved it for me was not Benedict Cumberbatch.
Me.
That's Benedict Cumberbatch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't Benedict Cumberbatch who saved it for me. It was Elizabeth Olsen. Who I think was just absolutely phenomenal as Wanda. Like, she's been phenomenal as Wanda, but I think as they get deeper into Wanda's backstory and the Scarlett Witch, she is just excelling at that role. But if she was not in this movie, I would put it online with how bored I was for Eternals.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Based on, again, you know me, I stay away from spoilers and previews, but you still see the headlines and all of that. So I knew that people weren't quite happy with it. It wasn't, so I kind of went in with lower expectations. And granted, the original Doctor Strange was not my favorite Marvel movie. It took me a couple of times before I actually was able, I had to watch it a few times before I was actually able to appreciate it. So, I'm just going to throw out there that I'm not the biggest Doctor Strange fan. So when he's standing on his own, I thought he was great in Spider-Man No Way Home. But so it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It also wasn't quite the movie I thought it was going to be based on the previews and stuff. But I'm with you. I did like it better than Eternals. I don't think I was as bored as you were. But I was like, okay. I agree with you. This seemed to me more like it was a WandaVision sequel or a prequel to Miss America rather than a Doctor Strange movie. What about you?
I would agree. I think I'm gonna be honest. I agree with you on that. Doctor Strange is actually my least favorite character of the MCU universe. I am not a fan of his. I'll tell you, I have watched Doctor Strange, his first movie. I watched it once and have never watched it again. I skip over it when I did my marathon of DC movies, the Marvel universe. I skipped over it. Like when I put it on, I literally was doing everything else but watching that movie just to get it over with, so I can say, oh, at least I stayed within the time frame. Um, but he's my least favorite character. So I think I would have loved it even more if this was a Wanda movie, or a Scarlet Witch movie, intro to Scarlet Witch. If they had made this movie about Scarlet Witch completely, and about like the devastation that she went through and how she was dealing with it, I would have loved it more, because Doctor Strange is just not a character that appeals to me. He appeals to me when he's with other characters. So I agree with you on that as well. I liked him in Spider-Man. I thought he was great in Spider-Man. But in this movie, his own movie, not a fan of him, a character on his own. I'm not a fan of him as a character. But when he's helping other characters, then I just need him in small doses. I'm gonna just put that out there. I cannot take him in large doses. Small doses, Doctor Strange works for me.
Yeah. So I think that it probably for me would have done better as a series, as a Disney Plus series. Um, and like you said, we could have gotten more into um, the trauma, because that was the next thing. It's like the WandaVision of it all. Like I said, it really was, to me, it really did seem like it was a sequel to the WandaVision series. And if you did not watch WandaVision, now I understand why a lot of people are saying before you watch Doctor Strange. So I'm just going to put this out there. If you have not seen WandaVision, then you would probably need to watch WandaVision before you go see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to understand exactly what it is that she's going through and how she ended up at that particular space. Because it literally, you're thinking that it's going to pick up from Spider-Man and the events of Spider-Man and No Way Home, but it doesn't. It really picks up truly with the end of WandaVision and the breach of the multiverse that occurred in Spider-Man No Way Home. It kind of just it's just a little set the stage. Like what he explains what happens in Spider-Man No Way Home, that is perfectly okay if you have not seen that movie for you to understand how the breaches occur. But if you haven't seen WandaVision, then to me it seems like you would be kind of lost as to why she is how she ended up in this place that she's in. And so yeah, I did enjoy her. I enjoyed her a lot. I like you said, I at times it made me forget that this was a Doctor Strange movie. Um, and I keep going back and forth. Is Scarlet Witch a hero or is she a villain? And I came up with that. She's probably one of the true
Loki.
anti-heroes. Like she's
She's a
like a
Loki.
Loki. She's like an anti-hero. Um, in the whole series of it all. And she gets it honestly because I think we all forget that she's Magneto's daughter. She's a mutant. And then when we first meet her, she was actually a bad guy or a villain. And then she's recruited by the Avengers to become a good guy. And it's like, and they've always been kind of scared of her power and what she could do because she's truly one of the most powerful Avengers or characters in the MCU. And then she falls in love with Biz and she tries to be good. Then Biz dies. Well, the way Biz dies, I think, destroys her. And we get set up for WandaVision and her trying to deal with his grief, the grief of losing him. And then now we're with the grief of her losing these phantom children that she created in WandaVision. But you find out that they really exist in other multiverses. So it was just like, wow. So I'm going to say Wanda needs some she needs some grief counseling.
Oh yeah, she needs therapy. Oh, she needs therapy.
She needs all sorts of therapy.
Like it's kind of like, superheroes and villains need therapy too. Yep.
The mental health is real for all of us because yeah, like her PTSD and her grief was on a whole nother level. And the way it started off, like in the beginning, I'm like, oh, okay. Because at the end of WandaVision, we saw her with the Darkhold, and it left you thinking, wow, how's this going to turn out? And then, so when he goes to her, I'm like, oh, okay, she's healthy. She seems to be doing okay. And then when she said America's name, I was like, oh, damn it. He never told her name. Like, how did she know? And then you realize, oh no, she's completely off the rails. Like it was like, oh wow. So I did enjoy her, and I loved Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch. I know when she was first cast a long time ago, people were against that casting. But she has really grown into that role and like made it her own. And I think she has really done phenomenally with it. Um,
Can I say
so
something on that?
sure.
On a therapy, I think what this showed me is this was a movie that really needed the connection of the Avengers. I think that to kind of make it seem that everybody is now on their own and nobody is connected to anyone else. Like, don't you think she would have done good if she had had Hawkeye to talk to, or Black Widow, or even Captain America to talk to, because she already had that bond and that connection to them? But it's kind of like she was on her own. Like, I understand that when they give them individual movies, they don't want to bring too many characters in. But I think dealing with Wanda and what she's gone through, I think they really needed well-known characters that she had bonded with, that she had set up a relationship with, to really help her through her grief and to talk to her instead of Doctor Strange. I do not think Doctor Strange was the person to talk her out of her mindset of her needing her children. He didn't have a bond with her at all. So I think like that is one ball that was dropped with this movie, and I'm starting to see more holes in the MC universe movies, on the fact of that you make these connections for the Avengers movies, which has all of the characters in it, and then when they do their individual movies, it's like they're never mentioned, or it's like we're supposed to forget the bond that they have unless they mention the name, and they could be like, oh well, I know they're still friends because they mentioned their name. But that means nothing if you don't see them. Like there should be characters going in and out, I feel, in order to really sell this storyline, because now I think it's getting more ridiculous on when they're doing the individual movies. None of them show up. It's like they're invisible in the other characters' lives.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point, but where we are at this stage in the MCU, Captain America has gone back in time, so he's not there anymore. Um, Black Widow, we can assume at this point is dead, and Cap, Doctor Strange made the call from the beginning not to bring in Hawkeye. Remember where he said, "I don't want to deal with the dude with the mohawk and the arrows."
But it's even more like anybody. I think calling in someone else from the Avengers would have
Yeah,
helped her. Like,
just
even if it was oh my god,
oh,
why is their names?
just to have them as part of the background,
Because
like just
she knows them. Like, she has a type of bond. Like, I just named the main ones that I remember her actually connecting to, but she has a type of bond with the others, which I think she could have gotten help if they had shown up. And none of them none of them showed up, and I think that was definitely a hole that needs to be filled in the MC universe.
yeah, I think yeah, the ones that she had to bond with though, because she was on the run with them, were like Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and who else was on?
Falcon was
Falcon.
there.
Yeah, he could have come. I was gonna say who else could have come. He
And
could have come.
oh my god, what's Sebastian Stan's character?
Bucky.
His actual his hero name. Oh, Winter Soldier. Sorry.
Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, like even then, she may not have had the
Well, the
closest
Winter Soldier,
connection.
he was in Wakanda. Wakanda. Oh, well, when they went to Wakanda forever. Let me stop. Okay. Stop rolling your eyes at me. I know
Oh
you're
my
like, what the
god.
fuck? Okay.
Y'all, Eddie just had a moment, and I was just gonna let her flow with that moment. I
I get what you're saying. It
Yeah,
probably
I
was,
get that they were somewhere else, but I just think they could have found a way to have them there. Like you find a way to have other characters show up when they need to. These characters needed to show up in some way, shape, or form, and none of them showed up. Like
yeah.
she had
Even if
no support, none whatsoever after what she went through and when she took over that town, everything. Like, you mean to tell me none of your people showed up?
yeah. I get that, and and like I said, Captain America and Scarlet Witch, I understand because I mean not Scarlet Witch, Captain America and Black Widow, I understand because they're literally off canvas, like they're dead. But the other ones that she hung out with or that she was hiding out with, they could have. I agree with you on that. Um, but I did like. What did you think about Miss America? By I know her name, Suchu Gomez.
I mean, she was there.
I actually liked her character. I thought she was probably one of the most interesting ones. I liked the introduction to her character. Um, and I thought it would have been a good setup for a prequel series. She wouldn't deserve a movie, but I think she would do good as a series on Disney Plus.
Oh, like Hawkeye's, oh God, what did they name her? Lady Hawk or something like that?
Yeah. So I think it was a good introduction for Miss America into into the MCU as far as getting her into a Disney series and then maybe having her as a co-star in another movie, but no, not her own movie series. But like I said, to me, this movie, I focused more on her and Wanda more so than I did on Doctor Strange because it really wasn't telling his story to me. Like I said, it served the movie served as two things: a sequel and wrap up to the WandaVision series, and then a prequel to whatever they're doing or introduction to Miss America. But in every other case, Doctor Strange was just kind of there, you know. Um, I love Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'm a huge fan, and ever since I learned how to pronounce his name, I just love saying his name. So I loved him as Modor, and I like this version of Modor too. And I love the Illuminati. Although when you hear the Illuminati, you're thinking big bad and evil, but I loved the characters that we got to see, and it kind of served as an Easter egg because this is like the first time that the MCU has incorporated the X-Men as far as major X-Men characters. We've seen like secondary characters um, in Deadpool, but this is the first time we've seen one of the major X-Men crossover into the MCU when we got Dr. Charles Xavier. So I thought that was pretty cool. So maybe that's just an Easter egg or drop to let us know that the actual Marvel X-Men movie is coming. I also love that they kind of showed us, hey, we haven't forgotten about the Fantastic Four, and we got to see John Krasinski as Dr. Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four. So that was pretty cool to me. What did you think about that? Were you excited about that, or were you just like, whatever?
Okay, so can I say how I confused? This is completely off task for a minute. I have always confused John Krasinski and Zachary Levi.
Yes, I did too. For the first moment, I was like, wait a minute, he Shazam, and then I'm like, that's John Krasinski, duh.
I thought it was
Samesies,
only me.
samesies, because I was
When I
like,
saw him, I was like, wait, isn't he in the DC universe? Don't he play a superhero over there? What are he doing over here for Fantastic Four? I did not know that was John Krasinski.
yeah, it took me a moment. I'm like, no, and I'm like, duh, that's John Krasinski. Because then I went Jack Ryan, The Office. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not Zachary Levi or Levi.
Okay,
I'm like,
so
okay.
you know what? That makes me feel better because I was about to say, wait, hold on. So we're not gonna get our Shazam too? I was so worried that he turned his back on DC for Marvel money. Like, I was so
Like,
worried.
ain't no money like that Marvel money, dog.
You right. but I actually like Shazam, so I'm excited about the second one. So I didn't want him to leave. But okay, so that was John Krasinski, because oh my God, they look so alike. Like I need them to play brothers in a movie or something like that. I do. I need them to do that. But then yes, I was very, very excited about seeing the X-Men. I was excited about everybody kept telling me, like, did you see the What If series? Did you see the What If series? I didn't see all the episodes of the What If series, but I did see the ones that show me of oh my God, Carter being Captain America, as well as you have Captain Marvel being different, Mr. Fantastic, as well as, Charles Xavier, Professor X. So it was really, really nice to see all of them, to see them bring in these characters. And I'm like, is this like a red herring that this is what we possibly may see in the future, at least for the Fantastic Four? Maybe they're going to be making another Fantastic Four movie, and they're going to have him play Mr. Fantastic, because I think he did a great job as it. And but the one thing is, and I know I love Patrick Stewart, I would have preferred to have seen the younger Professor X.
James McAvoy.
Yes. Wait, who?
James McAvoy.
Yes. I would have, like, that was the one thing. Like, I remember saying that in the theater when I was watching. I was just like, could they have gotten the younger version? But other than that, like, I thought it was great. Like, I thought it was a great thing.
Yeah, that was exciting. Like those Easter eggs, I was like, ooh. So they're reminding us that hey, the Marvel version of X-Men is yet to come, and officially, because I know in the Deadpool movies, people were like, why are we only getting these minor X-Men characters? But so I'm looking forward to that. I know that they're trying to the, the casting is the problem for Fantastic Four. I'm not sure how they're going to cast it, but I thought he was good as Reed, Dr. Fantastic, as well as Dr. Reed Richards. I love seeing Haley Atwell just kind of make her way through the Marvel universe, and I love that she got a chance to play Captain Britannia. Um, you know. And Lashana Lynch was Captain Marvel, which I thought was amazing. And I can't wait for the Marvel movie to come out, the Captain Marvel movie to come out this year. It's going to be so good. Um, and also, I love Benedict Wong as the Sorcerer Supreme. I'm a huge Benedict Wong fan, and I love seeing him as the Sorcerer Supreme. I thought he kind of brought some humor into it, as well, but I also like that he kicked ass. Like, so he's come a long way from just a sidekick. Even though he was still kind of like the sidekick, but you know that he's Doctor Strange's quote unquote boss. So it was really cool. I love seeing that. Um, so I think that, and I don't know, I guess maybe you might be in agreement with me. Unless it's something really, really compelling, I'm kind of over Doctor Strange.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. I'm with you on that.
It can, like, he can continue to pop up in other movies and other series, and that's great. And he would have that role, and I'm okay with it. Like we both agreed, I loved him in No Way Home. I thought that was perfect for him. But unless it's going to be something like Thor, where we know Thor did not get good to like the third movie, then yeah, if they give him another movie, which God, we probably will get, um, then it has to be something really, really compelling and really good. And speaking of Thor, I cannot wait for Love and Thunder.
Oh my God, the hippie version, yeah.
It looks so good. But so that's what I'm holding out. I'm thinking Doctor Strange might be like the first two Thor movies, and it's just like and then the third one they come back with really something compelling. Because I'm interested to see, what did you stay and watch the after credits?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm interested to see. I love Charlize Theron, so I'm interested to see what her character is and how she fits in. If it will be just in an Avengers movie or a different movie, or I don't know. And that third eye thing that Doctor Strange has popping off, that annoys the hell out of me. Like, dude, can we not do that?
Keep your third eye closed.
Yes, please. Third eye blind. Keep it closed.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah, but I'm kind of over it. Like it was never he was never my favorite to begin with. The second movie, like I said, it was more to me. I just thought of it more as a Wanda series or something. But I was like, okay.
Yeah. No. I like I said from the beginning, Doctor Strange is my least favorite character. Um and because it's my least favorite character, I only watched this because it was Marvel. And I feel like that's the level that Marvel is getting to. Like that's the conversation that people are starting to have. And I know it's starting to annoy like some of the, actors. You made your name off of these movies and or TV shows, and now people are getting fatigued. Like I think I'm getting superhero fatigue because I don't feel the substance is really there. Um, yeah, I don't feel the substance is really there. I think that they're recycling certain aspects of the Marvel movies and just playing them over and over again. Like with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is an asshole. Um he is. And the crazy thing is that like he was that way. He was selfish, narcissistic and everything when he was just a doctor, right? Very, very full of himself. And then he becomes Doctor Strange, and that only amplifies because now he's one of the most powerful people in the world. So that only amplifies his narcissism. Like only he knows best. There's no listening to other people. And even as he connected with, is it Americus or America?
America.
America. Even as he connected with America, which I mean, I think kind of humanized him. Even with that, I don't think it was enough. I don't think it was enough. I think it was more on, okay, let's see what America's going to bring to this universe in the future. Okay, let's see where Wanda's going now. But I've never asked the question, oh, what's going to happen to Doctor Strange? Is he and his girl going to finally get together? Like I have never been concerned about that whatsoever. And so I think that is the problem. So I agree with you that if Doctor Strange can go down to like a TV series or popping in and out of other people's movies, I think he would be great because I like him in small doses. I think he did a great job in Spider-Man. Everybody thinks he did a great job in Spider-Man. But when he has his own movie, the narcissism comes to the forefront. The attitude comes to the forefront. The assholery ways comes to the forefront. And it does not endear me to him as a character. I love Benedict Cumberbatch, but as a character of Doctor Strange, I am not a fan of his, and him having a whole movie to himself continues to not make me a fan of his. So small doses, yes. Large doses of a 2-hour movie, not so much.
Yeah, and I'm glad this is one of the shorter ones that just barely over 2 hours because I was like, I don't think I can do 2.5, almost 3 hours of this. But I would love to see, and I think why we're having fatigue, and I'm not going to necessarily say fatigue. I think what we need is to see who the new Avengers are going to be. Like, I think instead of building it up or stretching it out, they need to just come out and announce the new Avengers and have a new movie because um, we know that there is going to be a new crop of Avengers. We kind of have an idea, but I think you need to put them together in a movie and make it make more sense because in the first set or first phase, although we're technically in phase 4, but with the first set of Avengers, it got to the point where we put them all together and you could see the connectivity and the cohesion through the movies, even through the standalone movies. You
Yeah.
knew that it was coming back to something. So at this point, I think that that's what we're lacking is like you said, it was a hard press, and I agree with you. That was probably what was missing is someone to come in that she had a connection with to help him. And I guess it kind of goes back to what you said now, him being a narcissist, him thinking that he could do it all alone why he didn't call in Hawkeye or even Falcon or the Winter Soldier or someone that she had, because she spent all that time on the run with them, someone that had that connection who could try to talk her down, you know. Even if they, it would have been perfect to reintroduce Monica and Rambeau and kind of give it. I get that you're still trying to figure that out because we do know she's going to become Captain America, but I mean Miss America, Captain Marvel, excuse me.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
But even if you would have just brought her in as Monica and not as Captain Marvel, because she's the one who talked her down in WandaVision, you know, who helped her out there. So it's like, and I get it. I guess it plays into his thinking he knows everything, where we kind of saw him do a little bit better towards the end. So, like I said, unless it's something really, really compelling, then I'm kind of good on Doctor Strange. Give him a series, put him in a series, have him as a co-star in the Miss America series, which I think would be excellent.
Miss Marvel.
Miss Mar, no, not the Miss Marvel, Miss America, because America Chavez, she's Miss America.
Oh, wait, there's a character named Miss America?
Yeah, I looked her
Get the
up
fuck out of here.
because I was like, okay, is she? I think she's the female version almost of like Captain America, because I had to look her up to see who she was, like which character she was, and that's her name, Miss America. But I would love to see her have a series. I would love to see Wanda continue, whether it's in. I think they did a great job with WandaVision. Unless it's truly, truly something compelling or something like this where you have extra characters, I don't know that Scarlet Witch would get a movie, but I did love her. I would love to see them do a continuation of WandaVision, maybe redeem herself in some sort of way. Um, I love that. I love that series. So there are plenty of ways to go, but yeah, I don't know if continuing on Doctor Strange, although we did see that he will return. So, you know, we'll see how they do that. We know he'll be somewhere else in the Marvel universe for sure, but you know, I guess, and he is supposed to be what, the new Tony Stark of the Marvel universe. So it's kind of hard pressed. I don't know. They would have to definitely make him a more compelling character, um, to be the new head of the Avengers and to kind of carry on that mantle. Although I know he's not Tony Stark, there will never be another Tony Stark. I just don't know if he has it in him to be that type of a leader. If that makes sense.
Oh no. I agree with you, but I disagree with you on one thing. I think that he does have the personality to be the new Tony Stark of the new Avengers group, because we have to remember Tony Stark was very narcissistic as well and very full of himself. And the way that he grew as a person was because he was connected to all of these characters who had higher morals than he did, who grounded him. So I think that, because I think Spider-Man grounded Doctor Strange. He annoyed the crap out of Doctor Strange, but you also saw that he grounded him because he fought, like he pushed back, right? He pushed back on him. He was a teenager. And we talked about this when we did the review. But so I do think that he could be the new semi-leader, because I don't even think Iron Man was the leader of the Avengers. It was actually Captain America. But Iron Man was like, it was like two leaders, right? So you had the second in command. And I feel like Iron Man and Captain America were very equal on who was in charge of the Avengers. Sometimes it was Captain America, sometimes it was Iron Man. And I think Doctor Strange can be one of those characters for the new Avengers group. Now, the question is, who is going to be the other character that controls the new Avengers group? That is the question. But once again, small doses. I also think this may have been so-called a WandaVision like sequel, because they're constantly saying that. I still want a WandaVision 2.
Yeah.
I want to see, because we know she's not dead. I want to see how she moves forward and kind of do the same thing that they did in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They went to therapy. like let's see that storyline while she's trying to get mentally healthy and at 100%, while she's dealing with being kind of like anti-hero, you know, like a Loki. Like, she has moments where she's a villain and she's thinking about what she wants in life. And then there's other moments where she has to step up and do what is kind of out of her character, like Loki did in his series. So I would love to see that more for WandaVision. And it's hilarious to me. Can I just say how hilarious it is that we've talked more about Wanda and Scarlet Witch than Doctor Strange in the Doctor Strange review?
Yeah, because like I said, to me it really wasn't so much about him. Like, it just he did have a little bit of character growth, but like you said, maybe this was his humanizing moment a little bit, where he didn't, instead of taking her power, where he tried to see the other way. There was something else to do. So, we will see what happens. So, what did you rate this?
So I would just want to say, before I tell how many popcorns I'm giving Doctor Strange, that he should be extremely happy that Elizabeth Olsen played Scarlet Witch in this movie.
Oh shit.
Because I'm gonna give two ratings.
Okay.
If Scarlet Witch was not in this movie, it'd be down there with Mulan.
Oh shit.
And
Damn.
I'd be giving it like 1.75 or 2 popcorns. Okay.
Damn.
Like, I barely got any popcorn left in my bucket, kind of thing, right? Like, I mean, like, this movie was not it for me at all. I only watched it because it was Marvel. That's the only reason why I went to the theater. Now, my rating with the Scarlet Witch, and the more explanation of why she's going through what she's going through, even if I didn't agree with all the choices, you understand where she was coming from, brought the movie up to a 2.75. That's as high as I can go. 2.75 for Doctor Strange. So it gets a whole nother popcorn on it based on Scarlet Witch alone. But I can't go higher than that. It did not entertain me. I was bored. The zombie thing creeped me out. We didn't even talk about that, and I don't want to talk about that. I'm not saying it to bring it up in the conversation, but the zombie thing was just a fucking like ridiculous aspect of it. Yeah, it was not entertaining to me at all. So yeah, 2.75 popcorns is what I'm giving Doctor Strange. And but can I get a WandaVision 2? That's what I'm saying. I don't want a Doctor Strange 3, but I want a WandaVision 2. That's my end rating.
Okay. I can agree with that. I enjoyed it. I think I found it a little bit more entertaining about it than you did. Because I agree with you, WandaVision. Wanda, Scarlet Witch. I love, like I said, Suchu uh, Gomez as Miss America, and I'm looking forward to seeing what her character does in the MCU and where we go from here. I would love to see her with her own series. Not necessarily a movie, like I said, but I think she would do great as a Disney series or a series on Disney Plus. So I would really, really look forward to that. I also want a WandaVision too. I'm good on Doctor Strange unless I said it's something really compelling and it turns out to be like a Thor where it gets good on the third one. Um, but because of that, and I love the Easter eggs that they dropped about the introduction of the official X-Men into the MCU and the Fantastic Four. Um, I found those moments entertaining. The zombie thing was like creepy as fuck. So I give it a 3.25. And for those reasons alone, like you said, it is weird that we talked more about everyone else than Doctor Strange. And that just lets you know that, yeah, this movie isn't as advertised. um, so 3.25 popcorns. And I think that does it for this week's episode of the Popcorn Wind Down. Got anything else you want to add before we wrap this baby up?
No, let's roll.
All right. Well, be sure to like, listen, follow, and comment on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and now Amazon/Audible Podcasts. We doing big things, baby, big
Big
things.
things.
You can also keep up to date on the latest in entertainment and pop culture news, as well as other amazing kernels at the pop culture goodness at the Popcorn Wind Down. We are going to have our official hard relaunch here in a couple of weeks, so I'm happy for that. Kind of just doing it soft right now, although I feel like I'm talking about porn, so let me keep going. All right. And as we continue to do big things, hopefully I will get my popcorn sound effect, for my plug. Now I feel like I'm talking about drugs. Never mind. Let me just keep my mind is in a
Go
weird
for it. Go
place
for
today.
it.
Thank you as always. And be sure to join us next week as we continue on in the MCU and talk about the Moon Knight series from Disney. I'm excited to see what you thought about that.
No, you're not.
Oh, shit. Until next time, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Tammy. Bye.
Peace.